Our lead story tonight, a major breakthrough after months of tension on the Korean peninsula. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un has opened the door for a dialogue with the United States. South Korea's National Security Advisor Chung Eui-Yong said today that North Korea is willing to discuss denuclearization if the regime's safety is guaranteed. He was part of the 4-hour-long face-to-face meeting with Kim Jong-un in Pyongyang that happened on Monday.
North Korea has a clear point of view for denuclearization on the Korean peninsula. They say there is no need to keep the nuclear program if there is no military threat against North Korea and the safety of the regime is assured.
So here are the major takeaways from that historic and critical meeting in Pyongyang. 1. Kim Jong-un promised that North Korea will not use nuclear and conventional weapons against South Korea. 2. Both sides have agreed to hold summit-level talks in late April. South Korean President Moon Jae-in and North Korea's Kim Jong-un are expected to meet at the Truce Village in Panmunjom on the heavily fortified border between the two countries. 3. South Korea says North Korea will impose a moratorium on nuclear and missile tests if it holds talks with the United States. And Seoul also says that Kim Jong-un is open to denuclearization if the military threat to North Korea is eliminated and the security of Kim's regime is guaranteed. North Korea is yet to corroborate these statements. The third player in this equation is Washington. President Moon will dispatch his envoys to America next, where they are expected to brief the Trump administration about their meeting with Kim. A top-level South Korean delegation returned to Seoul today after spending 2 days in Pyongyang. This meeting was part of a fast-moving wave of rapprochement between the North and the South. Photographs released from Pyongyang show a smiling Kim Jong-un meeting South Korean officials who later had dinner with the North Korean leader and his family. This meeting comes just ahead of military exercises between the United States and South Korea. That's another concession that North Korea interestingly wants. It wants readjustment in the military engagements between South Korea and the US. 3 days ago, North Korea threatened to quote-unquote counter the United States if it holds joint military exercises with the South. South Korean President Moon Jae-in, meanwhile, has sent a personal letter to Kim Jong-un through his envoys, inviting him for talks. Both sides in recent months have expressed their willingness for a dialogue to diffuse tensions on the Korean peninsula. And this was the first time that officials from South Korea met with Kim Jong-un since he came to power 7 years back in 2011. The Korean state television says Kim Jong-un wants to quote-unquote vigorously advance closer ties with South Korea. The South Korean president, as we know, has always been an advocate of talks.
우리는 한반도 비핵화를 위해 북한과 대화해야 합니다. 그러나 동시에 우리는 북핵과 미사일 대응 능력을 조속히 그리고 실효적으로 구축하는 데 총력을 기울여야 합니다.
The United States, meanwhile, is keeping a close eye on the developments on the Korean peninsula. In a tweet, President Donald Trump said that, and I'm quoting, the United States is ready to go harder in either direction. So far, Washington has been skeptical about the attempts to solve this crisis through dialogue. Reports from the American media say that North Korea, during this diplomatic tour, is also perfecting the guidance system of its missiles. Many American lawmakers believe that Kim is bluffing, and the diplomatic outreach is just another charade. The Trump administration wants the international community to step up pressure on Pyongyang. That's what they've been saying. The United States so far has used this policy, has used the sanctions route. Crippling sanctions from the United Nations Security Council have brought economic activity in North Korea to a standstill. President Trump has repeatedly called on China to do more to pressurize North Korea, but Beijing has found no mention in this period of diplomatic thaw. North Korean businesses, in fact, continue to operate in China. Beijing has also put on hold a request by the United States at the UN to ban and blacklist shipping firms that are helping North Korea circumvent sanctions. China has said today that it is ready to play a role to improve ties between the two Koreas.
中方维护领土主权的决心和意志坚定不移，无论日方说什么做什么，都改变不了钓鱼岛属于中国的事实。我们郑重地敦促日方正视历史和现实，以正确的历史观教育年轻一代，避免给中日关系制造新的干扰。
Whether this is a time-buying tactic or a sincere effort at striking peace will be clear only in the months ahead. What's also important to note is the fact that the world does not know for sure what kind of nuclear weapons North Korea has. It chooses the time, it chooses the venue of its tests, and it releases images as it sees fit. There is no way to independently assess or verify North Korea's capability, so this peace offer may well be a bluff.